Hello, students. So today let's talk about um, SOHCAHTOA, but then now you are not given a Cartesian plane whereby you're gonna get your radius with the point. So we'll be just getting interval. So today we'll be focusing on what? On interval. Okay, so now let's see like how do we solve these kinds of problems whereby you are given an interval. So if you are given an interval, you need to understand how to read the interval according to the Cartesian plane. Ne? So let's see how does this thing go. Okay, let's say we have our number one. Let's say we have 13 cosine theta is equal to 12. Then you are given an interval, then they will say, and maybe let's say it's 180 degrees, then less than theta, then 360 degrees greater than theta. Okay, so it means now theta, our angle of choice, is greater than 180 degrees in the Cartesian plane, but less than 360 degrees. So if we can have our Cartesian plane here, okay, let me just use another color. Okay, if we can have our Cartesian plane here, then we're gonna have our degrees. So in the Cartesian plane, we have 90 degrees here, we have 0 degrees here, we have 360 degrees, we have 270 degrees, then we have 180 degrees there. So now, our interval, you know that we have a radius, maybe a radius like this one. We're gonna say maybe it's here, then we have a point, you see. Then we have the coordinates. You know, how does this thing go? In our previous lesson, we talked about the imaginary circle that has a radius, of which that's your hypotenuse of the triangle, of the right angle triangle. Then we have the adjacent and the opposite side. Okay, so now let's talk about now this interval, this one. Let's talk about this interval. So what does the interval say? It says theta is greater than 180 degrees. That means starting from here, but let's read again, but it's less than 360 degrees. That means our angle is here up until here. Ne? So it's starting from 180 degrees up until 360. So it's less than 360 but greater than 180. It means that it's between this quadrant and this one. So we're gonna see which one is which by finding the sides. Ne? So this one we can't include these because they are not included in the interval. Ne? So now let's go and calculate so that we can find all the sides. Remember that on the left hand side we have negative x values, then on the right hand side we have positive x values, then on the upper side we have positive y values, then here we have negative y values. So now let's go and calculate these. So here, if we want this like the all the sides, to find all the sides of this right angled triangle. So we're gonna divide by 13 here. If we can talk about this, so let's take it and write it here so that we can get all the signs. So here we're gonna divide by 13. We want, or you always make the function the subject of the formula, okay? So we want to divide both sides by 13 so that we can have our cosine theta as alone, so that we can see which one is which. So this will divide with this 13, then they will cancel. Then you will be left with cosine theta is equal to 12 over 13. This is how you should get the cosine theta as the subject of the formula. Ne? Then now, continuing, what does this mean? The last time I check, if you check on our second three letters here on SOHCAHTOA, it means that cosine is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. That means this one is what? Is an adjacent side. That and also this is an hypotenuse side. Or else let me write R. You can say X or you can say adjacent. You can say R or you can say hypotenuse. It depends on your choice. But then it means that our adjacent side is equal to 12. Ne? Then now our hypotenuse side is equal to 13. That's what it means. Now we want the opposite side. So we don't have opposite side. So we're gonna calculate the opposite side by using the Pythagoras theorem. So if you can use Pythagoras theorem, we're gonna have this kind of a formula. R squared is equal to x squared plus y squared. Then you write the reason Pyth. The reason stands for Pythagoras. Then now you're gonna write your 13 squared, then your x there is 12 all squared plus y squared. Then now if you want the y squared, you need to make it the subject of the formula. Then you do that. Then now you're gonna take your calculator, then put that inside the calculator. You're gonna say 13 all squared minus 12 all squared. Then you're gonna have 25 is equal to y squared. Therefore now you don't want y squared, you want y. Then you're gonna square both sides, which is 25. Then that's what you're gonna have there. You've squared both of these so that you can have y, not y squared. Then now you're gonna have 5 is equal to y. That means now our opposite side is equal to 5, right? So we got all the sides that we wanted. Then, okay, we are done. Now let's go to our Cartesian plane. So if we can see now in our Cartesian plane, we said that, okay, let me just remove this. We said that we want to see now between these quadrants, because they said that our theta is between third and the fourth quadrant. So if you don't know the quadrants, this is the first quadrant, this is the second quadrant, this is the third, this is the fourth. So our theta now is between third quadrant and the fourth quadrant. But we need one quadrant, because you know that our radius has to go through one quadrant. How do we see that now this radius is on this quadrant? Okay, we're gonna see by our sides. So our x is positive. That means 12 is something here. Then our y our y. Okay, so we made a mistake here. I always say that when you are doing the square root calculation, you must always put plus or minus there. Ne? It's called the square root rule because this is possible both positive and negative. Therefore, now you know that your quadrant, it's either uh, uh, third quadrant or fourth quadrant. But now you already saw that your 12 is positive. That means it's in the fourth quadrant. That means your y will be negative, right? Because it's here. That means your y will be negative 5. So this is what it means here. This is your opposite side. My apologies for not writing the square root rule. Always write it like that wherever, ne? And then you have your therefore. Your therefore is going to be telling now which one do you want or which one is possible in that case. So now our point is going to be here. Let's change our color. So our point is going to be here for the, oh no, it's not going to be here. It's going to be here for our radius because we need to plot now. Then this is going to be our radius. Remember, this is our point here. So our point is, what's going on now? Our point is 12 and negative 5. Then now, this is what it's supposed to be. This is our triangle there. So opposite side, it's negative 5. Then the radius, which is hypotenuse, let's write it there. It's, we say that it's 13. So this is our 13 there as our radius. So this is how you find all the sides using the interval, okay? So if you are given this problem and the interval here, this is how you're gonna analyze the interval. This is how you're gonna analyze the interval using what? The Cartesian plane. If you didn't draw your Cartesian plane on your own, you're gonna be wrong. So now, these are the questions that we're going to follow after this. After you got the correct sides, you are going to ask, please calculate for us tangent theta. Remember, you need to get the correct sides in all of these. So if you got the wrong sides there in the Cartesian plane when you're analyzing your interval, obviously everything is going to be wrong here in your questions, the ones that you're going to be answering. Maybe this one, okay, for example, they want tangent theta. How are you going to write the tangent theta if you have your wrong side? So it's very important to analyze the interval, then write your Cartesian plane down to show what does it mean in your interval. Then you get all the sides by using this given function there. Always make the function be the subject of the formula. Whatever you do, it must be alone with the angle. Maybe 2 theta, not 2 theta, cosine theta, cosine beta, cosine alpha. It must be always the subject of the formula. And then the sine may be tangent, but always work with that to be first the subject of the formula. Then take your sides here. Ne? These are meaning that these are your sides given here. So this one we said that it's adjacent over hypotenuse. So this is what you should do there. So let's go now and answer the questions that are following. So they want the tangent theta. So what is tangent theta according to SOHCAHTOA? So according to SOHCAHTOA, tangent is opposite over adjacent. What is our opposite side? Our opposite side is -5. Then what is our adjacent side? Our adjacent side is 12. That is our answer, which is -5 over 12. Then going to the second problem that is asked. Then they asked us to calculate sine theta plus cosine theta. Remember, these are not done using the calculator. They will say without use of a calculator. Then what you're going to do here, as a mathematician, you know that you must expand here. Ne? You must expand this to be at least simplified. Now it's not simplified because it is still in brackets and also it is squared. So remember, if you have two terms that are separated by a sign and they are all squared, it doesn't mean that you must what does it or okay, you must not expand. It always means that you must expand. Oh, I wrote something wrong here. It means that you must expand so that it can be like this. Ne? So it means that, okay, if we have 5 plus x all squared, these are two terms. So they need to be expanded like this. Ne? Don't change the sign. So that's what it means there. If you have two terms that are separated by the sign, it's either negative or positive, then they are all squared. It means that you need to expand there. Okay, so that's what it means. This is taught in grade 9 in the multiplication of two binomials. So let's go now and multiply. Okay, we're not gonna multiply, we're gonna substitute. So let's do our substitution. What does it mean? Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So our opposite is 5 over what is our hypotenuse? Is 13. Then you square. Okay, so here we're gonna use a square bracket because there will be other brackets that will be inside here. So here we're gonna use a square bracket, then plus what is cosine? Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So what is our adjacent side? Our adjacent side is 12 over 13, which is our hypotenuse. Then you put in brackets. Then you put in brackets again. Okay, you don't put in brackets as such, so you're gonna put this, then you put this as well. Then now you start doing the same thing. Remember, this is not done using the calculator, hence why we are expanding. Hence why we are expanding like this. So now I'm gonna write the same thing. Okay, so now let's go and continue now. So if you come here now, you're gonna remove our brackets. So what does it mean here? It means that in addition of fractions, if we have 2 plus 4, but we have the same denominators, which is a, we are allowed to add the numerators. So we're gonna have 6 over a. So that's a math rule, that wherever you add the fractions, If you have two numerators that are the denominators that are the same, you are allowed to add the numerators. So negative 5 plus 12. So that is gonna be 7 over 13. 7 over 13. Then you write again there. Still gonna be the same thing here on this side. So again, let's come to the multiplication. The multiplication doesn't choose like which one is the same. It multiplies the numerator, then the denominator multiplies the denominator. So 7 multiplied by 7, it's going to be 49. Then 13 multiplied by 13, it's going to be 169. So it's going to be 169. Then that will be your answer. Okay? So that will be your answer. My apologies for the background. It's a bit noisy, but I don't think it's going to be disturbing you. Okay, so this is what you should do when you are given a problem that needs you to interpret the Cartesian plane through the interval. Okay, so that's what you should do there. If you don't understand, maybe you're not sure about your interval, please tell me so that I can show you that, okay, this interval means this. Né? If you are not sure about your interval, always ask me. I'm gonna show you what does it mean until you master your intervals. Okay? So this is what you should do there. Some of them will be 0 degrees to 180 degrees. Some of them will be 90 degrees to 360 degrees. So this is what you should do. But then you must mark your quadrants first. Then after you marked your possible quadrants, then check the sides now. If the sides are meaning that the radius must go that side, you take that side. Then you're going to be getting the correct sides, okay? So that's what you should do there.